Oh yeah, let's talk about TJ.
Does it matter? What does it matter if a talking point comes from the alt-right or not? Doesn't it only matter whether it's valid or not?
Well, it's not valid. The talking point you use is incredibly stupid.
You want to tell me that the first Republican who's going to hold up a fucking LGBT flag on stage and say, yeah, that's not a fucking difference in the Republican Party from fucking Bush?
Hell no, that's pandering. If you actually looked at their platforms,
it may be pandering, but I said at least if you look at that fucking video, I said he's pushing the Republican Party to the right, to the left, at least in terms of rhetoric. So that is a... No, he's not in terms of rhetoric. He's not in terms of rhetoric.
No. Have you from his official platform and what Trump is doing, the cabinet members he set up, he is putting forth the most conservative platform in my lifetime.
I'm not talking about his fucking platform, Dusty. I'm not talking about his platform. I'm talking about his rhetoric here.
His rhetoric has not pushed the fucking party to the left either. I don't even know what you're talking about. In my opinion, his part is.
I just gave you an example of him holding up the LGBT flag, of him believing in protectionism and trade.
That one thing, holding up an LGBT flag, means he's pushing it to the left, right? He's definitely not.
Is he on that issue? Is he not?
I mean, in comparison to his predecessors, Dusty. I mean, come on.
I watched that video, and that is not what I thought you were trying to say. What I thought you were trying to say was that he is going to push the Republican Party to the left.
How do you know he's not? How do you know he's not?
I mean, so far he's not. And if you actually looked at his policies, if you actually studied his official platform,
Dusty, do you understand? But do you understand there's a difference between pushing it to the left, like he's now on the left, versus he's pushing it to the left in comparison to where it was?
Yeah,
do you understand that distinction?
He has the most conservative platform in my lifetime.
How is it a conservative platform? What makes you say it's the most conservative? No, I'm asking how is it the most conservative?
Sorry to interrupt.
How is it more conservative than Bush, for example?
Okay, well, his tax cuts, for one. His tax cuts rival Ronald Reagan, which actually he's bragged about if you actually read his official platform. He wants to do Reaganomics again. Plus, his repealing everything Obama has done about climate change, his basically pulling out the Climate Paris Accord, devastating to climate change. He has installed as his Secretary of Education a woman who wants to give $100 billion to religious schools, the biggest subsidization of religion in our lifetime, as his Secretary of, Surgeon General, the one that handles the drug war. He's got this old-time Tea Party drug warrior in there who literally went on record last April saying, if you smoke marijuana, you can't be a good person. This is the person in charge of our drug reform laws. This is the person that's going to go around and put more nonviolent offenders in prison.
That sounds like pretty par for the course Republican stuff to me. It's not like he's going to accomplish that agenda.
He is the most conservative president we've had in our lifetime. No other presidents have done the things that he's done.
You're saying this before he's even governed for a day.
Well, I mean, all you have to do is read his official platform and look at his picks.
Dusty, I don't give a shit about his official platform or Clinton's official platform.
Why don't you care about their official platform?
It doesn't matter. It's bullshit, Dusty.
It is bullshit. If you study politics, historically study politics, presidential candidates try to achieve about 75% historically of what they run on. Actually, looking at their official platform is a great way to tell how they're going to govern. And any historian on politics will tell you this. I don't even know. I can't believe I've had to teach you guys that the issues matter.
No, just instead of looking at a historical analysis, let's just look at recent history. Look at Obama.
And now they think that Bernie or bust is dead. It's not. Don't make us prove it to you. Don't make us prove it to you again, you fake fucking pragmatists. Most families in America live paycheck to paycheck. We're actively bombing 7 different countries, and we need big, powerful, robust, all-encompassing, uncompromising solutions. Anyone who can look at the vast array of problems faced by America and by the world in 2019 and think that what we really need right now is a status quo establishment leader to tiptoe us gradually towards the solutions, I firmly believe, based on evidence and experience, that one bold, progressive leader with a comprehensive vision of widespread systemic change will do us more good than 100 successive corporate Democrats in a row. But it's not just impatience that keeps me from believing in incrementalism. It's the fact that we literally don't have the time to waste. Hillary is so evil, it's stupid, and Trump is so stupid, it's evil. And America is so fucked, it's unbelievable. I don't know, folks. I mean, I just don't fucking know. I don't even know how to cover this fucking election. I don't know what to say.
I did not see a liberal candidate on the stage tonight. The most liberalism I saw was not from Clinton, but from Trump, taking a stand against NAFTA and TPP, rightly pointing out that Bill Clinton signed NAFTA, rightly pointing out that Hillary Clinton called the TPP the gold standard. Yeah, it is the gold standard. Much like the gold standard, it's a stupid fucking idea. I love that part of the debate. Trump nailed her there. So for me, I give the win to the more liberal candidate on the stage, and that's Donald J. Trump. And I'm not saying Trump is a liberal. I'm just saying that once again, he looked a lot more liberal than Hillary Clinton. But honestly, this debate is not about policy. Donald Trump lost the debate. But he didn't really lose it to Hillary Clinton. He lost it to Donald Trump. Now, Trump was terrible also on the birther issue. He really needed to hammer home the idea that, yeah, I ran with the birther thing, but Hillary's really the one who started it, which is essentially true. And he kind of tried to get that narrative across, but he just did a piss-poor fucking job. I mean, you have a guy running for president who literally spent the last 8 years wasting his time on a conspiracy theory that never had any evidence behind it. So that's never not going to be an embarrassment. There was no way for him to win the birther exchange, but he could have minimized the damage, and he really failed to do so. But was Trump destroyed? No. I think he actually had some really great moments, too. I think he did a good job, once again, on pinning NAFTA and TPP on the Clintons, because NAFTA was the big globalist dick used to fuck American workers in the ass, and he did a good job coming across like he stands for those workers. Probably bullshit, but well-sold bullshit. Got to congratulate Trump's salesmanship there. I loved him nailing Clinton when he said to her essentially, and I'm paraphrasing here, how can you say you're going to stop ISIS? ISIS happened on your fucking watch. When you were Secretary of State, ISIS was in its infancy. Why didn't you stop them then? You know, now they've spread like a fucking cancer. Now, both candidates were total dog shit on two issues raised. At one point, Hillary said we should use the no-fly list as a no-gun list. In other words, anyone on the no-fly list shouldn't be able to get a gun. No. Fuck you, bitch. There shouldn't even be a no-fly list. Then, they were also both wretchedly and unbelievably awful on the subject of crime, on the subject of racial tensions, law and order, that kind of stuff. Clinton's answer is a police state where people's Second Amendment rights should be curtailed. And the only problem with law and order is there's just too much racism in the police force. Black on black crime, not an issue, apparently. Why? Well, it's not because it's actually not an issue. It's just because black voters want to hear that their shit doesn't stink, and Hillary Clinton is happy to fucking oblige them. Trump, on the other hand, also wants a police state, but his police state wants to focus more on just making the cops super powerful and rescind more of our civil liberties. So no matter who you're voting for this November, both candidates view fascism as the solution to civil unrest, racial strife, and law and order. Different flavors of fascism, sure, but that's the difference between being forced to eat bat shit or rat shit. In other words, there is no fucking difference. I think Trump actually, even with him seeming nervous, came across as the more commanding presence of the two. Because now I think these two, maybe they know each other a little better, and hopefully next time we'll see them both better prepared. I'm giving this first round to Hillary, but honestly very, very narrowly. I will probably not vote, but if you are inclined to vote, I say vote for Trump. For one thing, Trump is pushing the Republican Party left on some issues. For instance, Trump actually believes, or at least says he believes, in protectionism. He wants to get us out of NAFTA. He wants to make sure that TPP doesn't happen. He wants to bring American jobs back from overseas. I don't know how feasible any of that is, and I do have serious doubts about Trump's sincerity, but these strike me as left-wing positions. These strike me as anti-free market positions. These strike me as the positions of a classical Democrat before the Clintons reshaped the party into the center-right juggernaut that it is today. So, at least in terms of rhetoric, Trump is bringing the Republican Party further to the left on some issues. And I know what some of my most ardent liberals in my audience are going to say. They're going to talk about Trump as unfit because of things like him saying on Fox and Friends that we need to target the families of terrorists, that we can't just go after ISIS. We got to go after the wives and children of ISIS fighters. Well, yeah, I agree that it's a monstrous thing that Trump said there, but guess what? Trump said it, but Obama's already doing it. 90% of drone strikes don't kill their intended targets, which to me shows that the U.S. already has a tacit position of fuck Middle East civilians, let them die. Trump isn't the bad guy because he says things that we already do. And people call Trump racist? Well, everything Trump says about race is already believed by scores of Americans. How can you afford to miss an opportunity to bring this entire country to the left? To give us a real fucking choice? The Republicans, they're just the corporatist party. The Democrats, they're just also the corporatist party. Bernie Sanders wants to change that. That's why the establishment is digging its heels in. Why all the superdelegates are saying it's got to be Hillary. It's got to be Hillary. No, it doesn't. It doesn't got to be Hillary. Part of Trump's appeal is that he's perceived as authentic. Now, there's a lot of ways that we can cast that authenticity into doubt. But whatever, it's not a matter of what's true. It's a matter of what's perceived to be true. Trump has this feel of like, he's authentic. He's real. He says what he really thinks. Now that might be total bullshit, and in fact, I think it probably is.